I was thinking what I could offer my family, friends, and business team that could serve as my Christmas gift this year. Something that would add value to your life, not just for one day or a season, but the rest of your life. This audio message came to my mind, as opposed to some lengthy letter, email, or text message, which may or may not convey the feelings I have deep in my soul. It is my hope that what I share with you will not only be understood, but will be felt in your heart and stir in you a change as it has in me. Recently, after a restless night of tossing and turning, I woke up, or I should say decided to get out of bed. As I dragged myself into the bathroom and faced the mirror, I saw a very disturbing sight. There was this very old man staring back at me. As I examined his face, I began to focus on all of the lines, deep creases, and moles and blemishes. It was as though I was mesmerized, or perhaps I was more stunned, with the image standing before me. How did this old man get to be so old? As I moved closer to the mirror, my eyes began to focus into the eyes of the old man, and I saw something wonderful and stunning. It didn't matter which eye I focused on. I saw and felt the same thing. I saw the image of a strong, courageous, hardworking, kind, caring, determined, loving, and faithful man. The lines, deep creases, moles, and blemishes I could no longer see, though I knew they were still there. But for that brief moment, I saw the reflection and felt who God wanted me to see that day. Someone who has desires to grow, line upon line, wanting to live each day a little more like his only begotten Son, whose birth we celebrate, whose lines are not on his face, but are found on his side, and on his hands, and on his feet. As I thought more about that experience that day, and others I have had since, I discovered much more that started me on a journey of change. Perhaps I feel I was looking not only into my eyes that day, but was looking into my very soul. I was feeling and connecting with the inner being, my spirit crying out to me that I was more than that old man staring back at me, and that I not only had the capacity to become so much more, but change was in fact the purpose of my existence. I had a glaring reality check that the only thing holding me back from becoming who I want to become and am meant to become was me. Not circumstances, not bad past experiences or relationships, but me. Just as my focus that day had been on the countless lines and blemishes on my face, which clouded my view as to who I really was and my potential, I have allowed my mind to be clouded by being filled with negative, dark clouds of fear, doubts, apprehension, cynicism, insecurities, pessimism, discouragement, and at times thoughts of despair. Years ago, after the death of one of our children at the age of 2 years old, I had a similar awakening and journey. Sadly, in recent years, I stopped exercising and protecting my mind as I should, which allowed possibilities, growth, and achievement to be snuffed out by being content, fearful, and having self-doubt. I had resigned to the fact and accepted who I was as just the way it was meant to be. I was a living example of what has been proven over and over again. Your reality becomes what has been the focus of your thoughts. During this awakening, I recognized I needed to gain control of my thoughts. I have been taught since my childhood to control my thoughts, and I really believe this could be done by simply thinking of something else, or singing, or creating a one-act play in my mind. That worked for the moment, but as hard as I've tried, it didn't seem to last. I am a creature of habit, and so is my mind. But I have also learned from the wisdom of others and the application of what I've learned. I can control my thoughts by protecting my mind and feeding it the thoughts I desire it to have. I don't believe that thoughts just pop into our minds out of thin air, though it seems that way at times, but those thoughts have been formulated by something we have seen, heard, or felt in the past. Years ago I read this quote, but it has stuck in my mind, and it goes something like this: "The greatest battle you can ever win will be the battle within the chamber of your own mind." I have become fully aware that this will be a constant and challenging battle as our minds are being fed heavy doses of negative every day through the radio, TV, newspaper, the internet, cell phones, and the myriad of other things that bombard us and fight for our attention. The media focuses on the negative gravitational pull on the very survival nature of our minds to keep us alive by protecting us from danger, so it becomes easy to be consumed with fear, the sensational, the unknown, and the doom and gloom that is thrown in our face. Entertainment has become reality TV, or reality Facebook, or reality Snapchat, reality Twitter, or reality Instagram, which I could see would only take me further away from who my inner self is crying out to be. There was a cloud of darkness hanging over me, which not only threatened my peace, but buried it under piles of negative and debilitating thoughts and uncertainties. I learned the only way to remove this cloud of darkness was to first flush it out, as other advocates of positive thinking have suggested, by replacing it with the positive, good, uplifting, hopeful, abundant, inspiring, promising, encouraging, optimistic, reassuring, heartening, affirmative, wholesome, creative, and all those thoughts that are relevant to moving me towards my goals, ambitions, and the person I want to be. And second, to protect my mind from the onslaught of the negative by avoiding it as much as I possibly can. If I can avoid the weeds of negativity from entering into my ever so brilliant flower garden of faith, hope, love, and endless possibilities, life will be fulfilling. This is how I believe we control our thoughts. Though this battle will be ongoing for the remaining time I have left on my journey called life, I love the path I am on and the peace, calmness, joy, and happiness I feel deep in my soul. I'm learning that when there are times I don't feel peace, it's not because peace cannot be found. It is that I must dig a little deeper, get rid of more weeds, and feed more nutrients in order to find it. So my Christmas wish for you is this. In a quiet moment, you seek the man or woman in the mirror. Look beyond the lines and blemishes you may see, and look deeply into the eyes of that person staring back at you, and see who God wants you to see. And look deeply enough and quiet enough so you can hear your inner self screaming out to you about who you are and the capacity you have to become all you are meant to become. Then not only make a resolution, but take control of who you want to become by controlling your thoughts. Protect them and feed them those things that will harvest a never-ending flower garden of peace, joy, happiness, and fulfillment.